Hello dear friend, how are you doing today? My name is Karina and welcome back to Ready Set Pan. Today, super exciting! It is officially June, so it is time to get into all of my May empties, just with how the filming schedule is right now. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Of course, most of this is coming from projects, so of course, lots of different content to see me use this stuff up. I will, as always, go category by category in case there's only particular items that you're interested in or category groupings, and let's just dive into all of the empties and the total value of what I've used up this month. Before we get into the bag though, I do have a bonus empty. Bonus empties are those that don't count towards my monthly totals and include things like tools, for example, like this here. It looks kind of gross. I think this used to be pink. Anyway, this is from Estate. So I had a 2-pack. These were supposed to be like color changing based on heat. Yeah, I didn't really notice that. It was a 2-pack. This is now the second one I've used up. Got some wear and tear on it. I haven't cleaned it in a little while because I knew after the last time I cleaned it, I was just going to be tossing it. I was just going to feature in this video first. But I like the shape. It was a decent sponge. I found it hard to clean though, especially on this side because this is where I apply my foundation, my concealer. So that side was really, really challenging. So yeah, definitely super stained, but it did the job. I got it in Boxycharm. These kinds of beauty sponges, I don't go out of my way to buy myself because I usually get them in Boxycharm. But if I do, I'm going to go for like a drugstore option, something a little bit cheaper. So got this used up. Let's get into the garbage. All right, everything is organized. Let's start off with makeup empties. I've got a decent number of makeup empties this month. This month I have no hair care and I have no nail care. So we're going to start with our makeup and another of these Mary Kay under eye correctors. Love this. It's kind of a peachy tone under the eyes, helps neutralize. This one I was using in a pan for Walt Disney, got it finished. Will continue repurchasing them because I really like them, but definitely open to finding an alternative. I finished a foundation, the Revlon. This is their Photoready Candid Anti-Pollution Foundation Natural Finish in shade 130 Ivory. I picked this up on Clear Out. Had some progress marks in here. This was 22 milliliters, so I think a little bit smaller than a lot of foundations, so I feel like I did go through it quickly. But because it was 22 milliliters, I think that's a little smaller than other foundations, so I did go through this really, really quickly. I did enjoy it. Might repurchase it again. The pump did pretty well. I got, I think all of it out. I wasn't going to cut into something like that. All right, a mascara sample. So this one was from Clarins. This is their Wander Volume Mascara Extra Extra Large in 01 Extreme Black. This was a decent mascara. Generally, mascaras, I've got so many through Boxycharm, I never need to buy a mascara again. But this one, it was fine. If I was to purchase a non-drugstore mascara, I think it's the Lancome Idol mascara. I really like that one. This had one of these brushes. It was sometimes a little bit difficult to work with, especially on this part of the eyelash. And yeah, this has some kind of scent to it. It's like a chlorine pool, but it's not chlorine. But that's where my brain goes. It's not quite chlorine, but that. So kind of an interesting experience putting this on my eyelashes every day. Came off super easily, wore pretty well. Applying sometimes with a brush, you get some black somewhere you didn't want it. But I didn't notice really any flaking or anything like that and used it for a while. Mascaras are just kind of okay, I've been using this for a while, I should probably call it. Or it gets much more challenging to apply. All right, lip liner. I don't know what shade this is, but this is the Ciate London Velvet Lip Liner. It is their long wear lip liner. I liked that it was a twist up. I really liked that. I liked the color. It was a little bit drying. It didn't last super, super long. I do use lip liners all over the entirety of the lips just because I don't personally like a really defined lip look on myself. So yeah, got that used up. Definitely, lip liners in general are not something that I would really go out of my way to get or to buy or anything like that. Okay, last makeup item. This was from Winky Luxe. This was their, I assume, lipstick in the shade Frisky. So yeah, that's all the information about it. This was a really fun, In terms of its appearance, so the packaging is very lightweight, but it's like the rose gold color. This was very hydrating. This was basically a little bit like of a tinted lip balm. It didn't come across super purple on the lips, but not long lasting at all. So obviously got a ton of use on it. As you can see though, like that was a cat originally, and it's kind of onto its side. This did melt a little bit, which caused the lipstick tube to kind of warp, to fall on its side. So it got really, real messy, as you might be able to tell, but not something I would go on my way to purchase, but I did enjoy it. Okay, let's move on to skincare next. Another Mary Kay item. This one takes me a long time. This is the Mary Kay oil-free makeup remover. In terms of removing the entire face of makeup, I don't like it for that. But what I do like it for, and the reason I don't like it for removing the entire face of makeup is I feel like it doesn't do it very well, especially compared to a cleansing balm. But what I do really like this for, and why it takes me so long to work my way through it, is I really enjoy using this for removing eye makeup. Some cleansing products don't work as well on the eyes or are not designed for the eyes, so I will use this instead. It does a pretty decent job at it. And I also like using this just to kind of clear everything away from the eyes in the morning after you've woken up. It's just very gentle. It feels like it cleans everything out. So it's a nice product. I don't need a ton of them. Again, open to other options, but I used it up. This has been kicking around for quite some time, the First Aid Beauty Hydrating Toner. It was in 2 different projects. My husband was helping me out with this one as well. Again, with First Aid Beauty, oh yeah, and like the stupid cap, like that stabs me all the time. This lid's sometimes hard to work with. But anyway, this, like all First Aid Beauty items, they're good. They seem to be effective. They're just not super fun and exciting. So they're not really my go-to choice. I seem to get a lot of First Aid Beauty items in Boxycharm. So like, for example, my Boxycharm this month, like this was one of the choice items. I ended up picking it. This is their Brighten and Glow Eye Cream. Yeah, like you probably have also seen like my Skin Is In project. Here's another First Aid Beauty eye cream that I finished, but because I finished it, you know, technically that updates for June 1st. So even though it goes up for this video, you're going to see it in next month's empties just because I like to split everything out that way. But anyway, as you can see, I use a fair amount of First Aid Beauty. They're good. Just, I'm not excited if I was going to be buying them myself. Okay, I've got 2 samples. So if this one is the Biotherm Life Plankton Elixir 5 milliliters, started there. I've worked my way through several, whether it's been in this form or the Ciate packets. It's fine. If I'm going to buy stuff, it's probably going to be a Glow Recipes serum. There are other brands I might want to try as well, but Biotherm just isn't one of them that just really speaks to me. Philosophy, this is the Hope in a Jar, and it's got a super long name, Smooth Glow Multitasking Moisturizer. It's fine. It's there. Philosophy products for me are all about the shower gels. Those are super, super fun. I would love to see more like Philosophy lotions and body creams and body butters, but again, where do you find them? Like Shoppers Drug Mart has more of like their floral body lotions, so they don't have like the really fun fruity scents with the gourmand scents. And being in Canada, Philosophy doesn't ship to Canada, so I'm kind of reliant on whatever I can find in my Winners or Marshalls. I've been doing really well at finding Philosophy body washes, but nothing else in terms of moisturizers. Their skincare though, it's fine, but again, other brands I would seek out instead. Okay, last skincare item from Neostrata. So this was their Restore. This is their Moisture Infusion Hydrating Cream. I was using this as my day moisturizer. It was fine. I've used a couple Neostrata products. Not the most exciting thing. I do like the glass jar though. That made it feel very nice. This was moisturizing. I have used up some sample sizes of this as well in the past and have now used the 45-gram jar. So again, nice product, but am I going to purchase it? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, I also have 3 fine fragrance mist samples I've used up this month. So moving into fragrance. So this first one was the Revlon. This is the Million Gold for Her. This was a floral. Again, I'm so in love with my fine fragrance mist that perfumes are just kind of... I am trying to do more with layering fine fragrance mist and perfumes though. So you'll see in a moment one of the things I was layering these florals with. But yeah, expensive, would not buy it myself. Another floral, this is the Gucci Floral Gorgeous Gardenia. I actually liked this one a fair amount. Just again, not something I would purchase myself either. This one I think is my favorite of the three, but it's the lavender note. I'm pretty sure that's in here that I don't think I liked. Burberry Goddess. This is the Intense EDP. I cannot get that last little bit out. I liked this except for the lavender note, so that would prevent me from actually purchasing it. Then I do have a fine fragrance mist empty. It actually was one not in any projects, but because I was trying to layer these floral perfume samples in this month, previous months, I've actually finished off this. So this is my first fine fragrance mist empty from Victoria's Secret. This is Midnight Bloom. Scent notes of Moonflower, Creamy Woods, Star-Crossed Lover. So this was a floral. With a name like Midnight Bloom, like you'd expect something a lot deeper, maybe patchouli, which I don't like. I was decent with this. Like if it came into my collection again, I would use it. It's just, you know, not my fruity gourmand goodness things that I would prefer. This mist was actually pretty nice. It wasn't as aggressive. Okay, it's a little bit... Oh, wow, we can actually get a spray. Couldn't do that before. I just sprayed it in my face. Okay. Yeah, it's not my favorite scent. And, like, getting the last little bit was really challenging, but it wasn't super aggressive. Like, it is showing that way now because it's like, there's nothing coming out. So it was decent. It was a good experience. I have a pink mist that is very aggressive in comparison, but yeah, I liked the packaging. I liked the color. Just, it's not my kind of scent, but it was decent for what it was. Brings me to the hygiene empties, and I was so close on this item with 50 Shades of Brown. This is technically a body wash. This is the Dove Body Wash Mousse with coconut oil. It is, however, suitable for shaving, and that's kind of how I used the entire thing. I did not use this as a body wash, but I used it as a shave cream. So good. I love the coconut scent on this one. I have the coconut, the rose, and the argan. Now, of course, coconut's no longer in my collection. This is my favorite of the three scents. Lasted a stupid long time because I tend to be not the most consistent with shaving. But I think after I finished my finale for 50 Shades of Brown, which this item was in because coconut, I had like 3 more uses out of it. So I was so stinking close. And you cannot mark this because it's like an aluminum packaging. But this was so good. I'm glad I have 2 more of these because this is a discontinued item. After that point, I think I would be curious to try the Tree Hut shave oils because I've heard really good things from a lot of people about those. And it does come in the vanilla scent. It also comes in rock and rose, which is like, meh. So it might be the vanilla. I think I've also seen the Tropic Glow. Again, I'm in Canada, so I don't get the same selection as a lot of other places. But I really liked this item. I was glad to have it used up. It's been kicking around for a very long time. It's been kicking around for a long time. Okay, I want to get into this item next. It is technically a scrub. I used a lot of scrubs this month. This one is the Hand in Hand Sugar Scrub in the Almond Creme Vanilla and Oat Milk scent. A little sample size, 59 milliliters cut into it. However, I used this as a hand scrub rather than a full body scrub. This would have flown by so fast. It was okay. It was incredibly coarse and lots of very thick granules. It felt like you were scratching your skin rather than exfoliating, but it didn't leave any scratches. Very inconsistent. Added a little bit of water to it, which made it a little bit better. And of course, you're supposed to shake this very well, which, you know, I think I did decently at shaking it beforehand, but not my favorite. This is probably a brand I would pass over if I was to see it again. I do have the matching hand cream I will use eventually, but we'll get there. But yeah, not my favorite experience. I have another scrub in my shower that I do use just for my hands. I'm enjoying that formula so much better. But yeah, at least I got that one worked out. Okay, I did finish 2 pocket backs. So first one here is A Beautiful Day. Not my favorite scent. There is apple in here, but it's more of a floral. This one expires. What is that? Oh no. Okay. March 2026. So I was wanting to prioritize this one partly for that expiration. I want to use it in the spring season, and obviously next March is expired, but also it was like halfway in my collection for some reason, and I had put it back. Yeah, not my favorite scent. Would not repurchase that one. One that I have backups of, and I have this little duo of Crisp Morning Air, both in the pocket back and in the Gentle Foaming Soap. So I'll talk about both of those together. This has scent notes of fresh pine, juniper, and juicy pear. But this is just such a beautiful, like, it's pear forward, and that's what I love about it. So especially sometimes those outdoorsy scents lean more cologne, which also is headache triggering for me. But Crisp Morning Air, I've gone through now 2 of these pocket backs. Two? I think this is my second Crisp Morning Air hand soap I've gone through, but I do have like another, at least 2 backups. So would definitely repurchase. Crisp Morning Air pocket back was in a project. So first month, second month, loved this one. It really isn't any time of the year, like any time of year scent. But mostly winter and spring is when I would use that one. And this time I used it as a spring transition. And then the soap, this was so good. I actually had this soap in a project because it was like the winter kind of theme. It was blue. Loved it. My favorite soaps I tend to keep in the ensuite because that's where I wash my hands the most. So if I'm telling you, like this one, where it's like, I put it in the ensuite and that's where it stayed the whole time. Oh yeah, it's like, I really love that one. Often I'll circulate soaps around. The basement is where anything gets banished to. So like I have a pine soap down there right now because I did finally finish the exiled soap. So if you've been seeing all of my body care inventory since I started doing them, this is a non-Bath & Body Works soap that has been lingering downstairs for the longest time because the downstairs bathroom gets so little use. Like if I'm using that bathroom once a month, then it's probably a good month. Like I really don't use it very, very often at all. So this is from Life brand. This is the pomegranate and mango moisturizing hand soap. It was not a foaming soap, which is part of the problem. I love my foaming hand soaps. And this is a relic from before I was really getting into Bath & Body Works hand soaps, which, as you may know, I've been on that train for quite a while. No intention of getting off of it anytime soon. Now, pomegranate mango, this is a scent I do love, but I have used a lot of this kind of scent, particularly the soft soap pomegranate mango, so I'm a little bit burnt out on it. I still have, it's still sitting right here for my Hydrating project to use it up. Like it used to be my favorite soap scent, which is why like the hand soaps were pomegranate mango. But yeah, like it's just been lingering around in exile in that basement for so long. Not my favorite formula, so would not repurchase. Although Life brand, you can get these pretty cheap, even cheaper than Bath & Body Works on a decent sale. But I love the experience of the Bath & Body Works hand soaps, especially the foaming ones. I love how the scent lingers. The scent really doesn't linger too much on, at least this one, for the Life brand. But I also had this for years. So that might play a part in it as well. All right, and then I do have this hand cream. So this is from Crabtree and Evelyn. This is the Gardener's Hand Therapy. So I did open an advent calendar this year that I picked up from Costco, which was a little bit of some skincare, some hair care, some body care. This was in there. You can see I have not cut into this though. Normally I do. Like first you can see, if there's anything, there's like maybe one use just sitting right down here that I can't squeeze out. However, I'm not cutting into this because I think this gave me a little bit of a headache. I will put scent notes up on the screen. This was more of like a fall scent, but because it was small and at the time I was between hand creams, I now have too many hand creams in projects. So I've kind of overcorrected. But this, yeah, it's a fall, little bit spicy of a scent, and those scents do not do well for me. Like, they give me headaches. Like, the scent does linger. The hand cream felt moisturizing. I see Crabtree and Evelyn, and especially this item. I see this one in Marshall's fairly often, but I just love my Bath & Body Works hand cream so much that for me to venture out, like I've really cut back on those hand creams, especially with experimenting at Marshall's, because some of them have been not so good, as you've seen from previous empties. But yeah, this is not one I would pick, and if I was to get another of these, I'd probably try to like re-gift it or give it to someone else or donate it or put it in a giveaway. Like, it's just not a good scent for me, but I did use it up. I finished a lot of scrubs. A lot of scrubs. I'm going to start off, it's First Aid Beauty again. Okay, so this is the First Aid Beauty KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub. This is probably my favorite item from First Aid Beauty. This I've been working on behind the scenes at least since November, but it could have been even earlier than that, where every once in a while, if I was out of a scrub in a project, for example, I would reach into this one. Now, I don't move through these very quickly because I don't use them on my entire body. Like most scrubs, I do kind of like chest down. But the KP Bump Eraser, I would use on my arms and I would use on my thighs. And that's it. And generally, I would use this on every 3-day cycle if I was to use this in a consistent pattern. I rolled it into my hydrating project, used it up like way down here, got like 3 more uses out of it. Little bit of a scent to it, but not bad, especially as far as like a KP, bump erasing, any of those like textural products go, because some of them smell absolutely terrible. I've used up now 1 full size and at least 2 sample sizes of the KP Bump Eraser. Would I buy again? Like this one came in a gift set I requested for Christmas. And I was intrigued by the strawberry scented one that came out. Was it last Christmas? I don't know if it's even still available. So I did think about that, but I was like, no, I don't need it. I'm more excited for other scrubs in my collection. And again, because this one's just such a limited purpose. Like, I do think it helps. And it's not like I'm bad or anything, but, you know, every once in a while, it's like, this kind of product would be nice to have. So I'm kind of conflicted where I stand with it. I do have 2 rose-based scents here. They are very darn similar here. So what we got? Yeah, this one is the Sorosa Beauty Calm and Restore Sugar Body Scrub in Lychee and Rose. And this one was the Omshi Aromatherapy Rose and Lychee Smoothing Body Scrub. So let's talk about these. I'm going to start off with the Sorosa Beauty. This came in a 3-pack of this size. Now, it looks deceiving, but this actually has 9.17 ounces in comparison to a Bath & Body Works, which I'll talk about this one in a moment too. This is 7.4 ounces. So this one has more product than a Bath & Body Works. However, I blew through this so fast. I don't know what it is. This is the first Sorosa Beauty Body Scrub I used up. But there was something about this scrub. So we'll see if it does the same thing. I've got some more that are sitting over here. This clung together. Like, I could literally try to pull this out and just like pull a section, and I could actually scoop up the entire content of this in my hand. It would just stretch. So I would have to kind of break it off. I only got 3 body uses from this, and I think I used it every other day. So that's like a week of scrub. I think I paid $12.99 for the 3, so it's really not a good price point here. I was not happy with that. And it's actually stopped me from buying any more from this brand. There was a Pear and Jasmine one that I did buy the body butter with, but I would have bought the body scrub if I hadn't already used this one and then realized it's not so good. So I still have 2 more minis in different scents, and I have a full size that I will have to get used up. These have an expiration, like this set was October 25th, 2025, so I do need to get moving on them. So these scrubs, you'll see them featured in my plan to pan when I do my next update in July and just kind of blast through them. Obviously, these minis, I got through them so fast. 3 uses. Ridiculous. Now let's talk about the scent. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm not a floral person. You might think I am based on, I've been pushing a lot of my florals over the last month or so because I want to kind of work them out of my collection. And there's some of my older stuff because I keep passing over for fruity or gourmand scents. So I've been really focused. You're going to see a lot of florals in a couple minutes here. But this is not a good scent. I did not enjoy it. Yeah, the other one was a butter scent. I don't get rose though, and I also don't get lychee. Not that I really know what lychee is supposed to smell like, but oof, yeah, this was so bad. That was horrible. Okay, then I had this one. So the Aromatherapy Om Shea Rose and Lychee Soothing Sugar Scrub. I picked this one up at Marshall's for $7.99. This one has 20.28 ounces. And this lasted me a decent amount of time. This was more exfoliating than I was expecting it to be. Like, looking in at the tub, it was very, like, it was a bright pink color. It was very colorful. It looked more smooth. I was expecting it to be an everyday scrub, but this was like, most of the time I was using it every other day, and then there were a couple times where I just felt I needed to space it out a little bit more, so I did a little bit of that as well. It took me, you know, I still got through the entire thing within a month's period, plus finishing up these other scrubs here. Now, the scent on this one, again, it's probably my least favorite of the ones I've purchased. I do have two others in my collection. It's a lemon and something. It might be lemon and grapefruit. It smells so good. And then I have like a Dead Sea Minerals one to come with our fresh scent. So this is probably going to be my least favorite scent of all of them. Does have that kind of rosy feel to it. I'm not sure I would buy more of these scrubs though, just because it wasn't my favorite. Then I finished up Pure Wonder, the Exfoliating Glow Body Scrub from Bath and Body Works. This was a 2020, I want to say 4 packaging of it. I do prefer the old packaging with the rose gold, but here are my progress marks. That's where I started, and that's where it was full to, there and done. So this scent has, what is this? That's French. Iced Rosé, Star Jasmine, and Warm White Amber. I like this. This is probably my favorite perfume scent from Bath and Body Works, which I think is discontinued, so of course. Smells super, super good. It was like a light pink color and glittery and sparkly, so super visually appealing. However, I think they changed their exfoliating glow body scrubs, because this used to be an every other day type of scrub for me. But this one, and then I've also been using, what did I just roll into on my project? Butterfly. Yes, I just rolled in Butterfly in the same formula, the Exfoliating Glow Body Scrub. It's also an everyday type of scrub for me. So they changed it, or my skin has just gone way more used to scrubs or something. But this is not very exfoliating. It does, however, make your skin soft, and it helps layer the scent up. So I still enjoy them. I think I am leaning towards this being my least favorite formula from Bath & Body Works. So it's really going to depend on what the scent is, because yeah, they only come in one formula. All right, another rose item. So this is the Aromatherapy Renewing Meadow Walk. This is their body wash and foam bath with scent notes of rose and magnolia. This one was a 2023, which I picked up at a semi-annual sale. So this would have been, was this last January? It was the winter semi-annual sale. It was one of them. Anyway, this I used up in 1 month. A lot of it I did use actually as the body wash. I was pairing it with something you'll see in a moment. However, I also used this 3 times as a bubble bath, and it works pretty well. It is a thinner consistency compared to their regular body washes, so it's not my absolute favorite. And most of the time, I'm not intrigued by the aromatherapy scents. And if there is one that intrigues me, I'll generally reach for the moisturizing body wash over this. But now I know that this formula I do enjoy, and if there's a scent that intrigues me that doesn't come with the moisturizing body wash, I can pick it up in this formula. So it was nice. I enjoyed it. Okay, we're going to talk about these together, because this is the other body wash from Bath & Body Works I used up, and the matching body cream. These are Pearberry. So this is the 2024 semi-annual sale packaging. Pearberry has scent notes of Angie Pear, Wild Berries, Apple Blossom, Golden Freesia, and Blonde Woods. Unfortunately, I am not a big fan of Pearberry. And I have more Pearberry in my collection, so I'm going to have to work through that. So we're going to start off with the body wash. I did really well, and this last bit took me a long time. Yeah, it's just fruity shampoo, something a little bit off. Body cream, so that's where I got to, and then finished it all off. So glad to have worked through them. I want to get the rest of my Pearberry out. Oh, I missed a body wash. Okay, very quickly. Formula 10.0.6 looks so clear. Alpha hydroxyl acid body wash, spirulina and charcoal, or charcoal and spirulina. This was black. It was very, very interesting in the shower. However, it did not stain my loofah, did not stain my skin, did not stain the shower, so that was really good. 50 milliliters, so it lasted longer than I was expecting. Also good. Didn't lather up super well. Wasn't a strong scent. It was fine. Would not buy. Let's do this moisturizer, because this is not Bath & Body Works. This is the Jergens Deep Conditioning Shea and Cocoa Butter Blend. Formula, I would say it's a lotion. It's not super hydrating, unfortunately, which I was expecting a bit more. It was a little bit better than the actual Jergens lotion, but I wanted to try it and see. The packaging is really pretty. Doesn't have much scent to it. I expected more from the scent. So I used it a little bit before I actually rolled it in. Another marking down here. Got it all done. This was the favorite scent of the ones I saw at the store, so I don't think I would repurchase any Jergens, unfortunately. I just like my Bath & Body Works way better. Okay, Rose. 2 Rose body creams I was using up. I liked the other one more than this one, so I'll show you this one first. This is the Aromatherapy Inspire Love Rose and Vanilla Body Cream for Bath & Body Works 2023. Not my favorite. This one is... There's something off about this rose. Yeah, it doesn't really smell like a nice floral rose. I don't know what it is, and I don't get the vanilla. But anyway, oh my goodness, dropping things. So I had used this much up with a previous body wash, the Body Shop British Rose. So then I rolled it into a project just to get it finished off, since I was using the Rose Body Scrubs. I was also using the Renewing Meadow Walk. I also was using all of that stuff with this one. This is the Bath & Body Works body cream from the Disney Princess Collection. This is Belle. So this is 2024 packaging. And unfortunately with this, Rose Petals Sparkling Buttercup Whipped Vanilla. This was the only scent that kind of intrigued me in the body care. So this is all I picked up. I did use the entire thing in one go. The packaging is super stunning. I get more of the vanilla from this. This is a better rose scent. So if I had to buy one of the two, I would buy this one, even though it's almost out of stores at this point. But I don't think I would. I might get suckered in because of the packaging. But in terms of scent, not my favorite. And finally, this is my last body oil that I had in my collection. The Bath & Body Works Aromatherapy Rich Moisture Body Oil Cocoa Shea. Bam, did super well. I liked using this to layer with lotions that weren't as moisturizing. I like this scent. My husband does not. He finds it too sweet, too alcohol-y, drinky. So I enjoyed it. This is my 3rd bottle, I want to say, but I won't be repurchasing because my husband really doesn't like it. So if he is commenting on my scent in terms of not liking it, he's got a strong opinion on it because he's usually pretty chill with it. But just not his favorite. I enjoy it. I still have the Cocoa Shea in a moisturizing body wash and a body butter and the perfume mist. So my husband will have to enjoy that scent a little bit longer, but this summer, maybe next summer. Only take all of the monthly totals, do the math, the usual disclaimer that's in my description box down below. Add this all up in Canadian dollars. That brings me to $445.39 of product used up, which brings my year-to-date total to $2,659.02, which is, it's a ridiculous amount of money. It's a big amount of money. Am I spending that money myself? No, we're always shopping the sales. We're getting stuff in Boxycharm. We're getting samples. Those are technically getting value, even though there's no value to the samples. All that usual fun stuff. But I've been working a lot of stuff out of my collection, making some progress. Obviously, not all of this stuff was top to bottom in 1 month. Some of these items took me several months to do. But I'm very excited about these empties and being able to share that with you today. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know what you're emptying out as well. Subscribe so you don't miss future empties or the panning content that will be featured in future empties. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video very soon. Have a wonderful day.